Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Judge Dredd. We are making a 50-point Wally Squad group. Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. Do not actually run this as a gang. I'm not entirely sure it would work very well. These models are designed to go into other groups, whether it's a Judge Squad or a City Blockers group. They are not designed to actually go together. It just happened to be the case that all three of these models, when put together point-wise, came to 50 points. So let's dive in. What is the Wally Squad? So a Wally Squad judge is a member of the undercover judge unit in the Justice Department, nicknamed the Wally Squad. Wally Squad judges dress and act like a typical citizen, much to the dismay of regular judges, especially Judge Dredd. After the Day of Chaos incident, the Wally Squad judges, the Special Judicial Squad, aka the SJS, and the Public Surveillance Unit, aka PSU, were folded into the new Undercover Operations Division. Now, there's been a lot of Wally Squad characters over the years. My personal favourite is Lenny Zero. Warlord Games, if you are listening, can I get Lenny Zero, please? With his polar bear sidekick, that would be amazing. But the three we are going to go over today is Jack Point, Dirty Frank, and Amy Nixon. So up first is Jack Point. He is one of the most iconic characters out there. Happens to be a simping detective. Now, he looks hilarious because he is dressed as a clown. This is because he is trying to appear as a simp, follower of the Church of Simpology, who embrace the absurdity of life in this city by dressing and behaving in an outrageous and ridiculous manner. Jack likes to dress himself as a clown. He's narcissistic and unreliable, and he has adopted a persona reminiscent of a 20th century American gumshoe private eye, and I adore him. He's got his own comic strip, which is really weird and quite hilarious to read through. It's done very much like Sin City. It's black and white. There's touches of red. He's just constantly getting himself into trouble. It reads like a pulp book / comic of the early 20th century, like it says. It's such a fun character to read. And then he's also part of Trifecta, which is such a good read. If you've not read Trifecta, go try it out. Give it a read. He also falls in love with ex-Judge DeMarco, who for long-time readers know she caused a bit of trouble in the pit. Well, she's back causing more trouble. After Jack Point, we have Dirty Frank. He was one of the longest-serving characters of the modern era, I think is a fair way to describe him. He is pretty disgusting looking. There's no way to get past this. He has a caveman-like appearance. He was visually drawn to be a dead ringer of Alan Moore, which the author, or the artist Henry Flint, artist, not author, he took his inspiration from Alan Moore, and the character is just so out there. It's hard to know if he is playing the role of somebody who has lost their mind, or if he has truly actually lost his mind. He's just so far out there. He has a little pet teddy bear that he talks to quite a lot. He talks about himself in the third person. He wears an eye patch, though I'm not entirely sure he needs an eye patch. And I'm pretty sure it does change eyes quite a lot. Once again, he is part of the Trifecta storyline, which, as I've mentioned, absolutely amazing. He ends up going to the moon and meets Sensitive Clegg. He also takes on Shark Businessman, which, if you don't know about that guy, you deserve to go look that one up for yourself. Also, Warlord Games, I would love you to make that character. He is a pretty out there character with a very sad storyline that we start to learn about as the stories progress. And ultimately, he is just such an absurd character. But you can't go wrong with him. He has to take down one of his own friends. And it's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad story. Poor old Dirty Frank, he deserved better. And to round out the 50 points, we have Amy Nixon, third and final model in the box set. She was born in the lowlife. She saw her mother murdered by a strange man who told her that he was her father, and he had done it so the two of them could be together. Amy picked up the gun he had dropped and shot him, blowing off half his face. When the judges arrived, she told him that she had killed the man in self-defense. This was believed, and she passed the lie detector test. She would later become a cadet in the Academy of Law, and she was an A-grade student. By the age of 18, she was on the street, but she proved to be such a good liar that they moved her into the Wally Squad. This is where things started to go downhill for poor Amy. She found the life tough and uncompromising and chose to have her own arm removed to be replaced with a crude bionic in order to make it seem more believable that she wasn't part of the Justice Department. She then pretty much started living the bad girl lifestyle and became the big man of low life. She started fighting over territory, and this led to her being kidnapped by the Yakuza, who removed her flesh and blood arm, so she's now down to no arms, and she ended up being arrested by Dirty Frank in Hondo City. In exchange for what she knew about the criminal networks, the Justice Department promised her a life in the ISO cubes rather than 20 years in the penal colony of Titan. But due to Chaos Day, resources were thin and she got sent there anyway. This obviously caused her to become very hostile to everyone, and she had to have the horrific face breather apparatus put in. She would later come back, but we won't go over that because that's later in the storyline. Amy Nixon you see in front of you is at the height of her Wally career. She's probably become the alias of the big man, and she is slowly on her way to becoming a villain. So yeah, that is the 50-point Wally Squad gang. Like I said, don't actually use this in-game, though I'm sure it would be fun to play. I think these are better mixed in with other groups that you can take within the setting. And well, I hope you enjoyed. It's a quick dirty one again today, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers for watching.